Welcome back, keyless entry viewers, and today we're talking about a brand new car, and this was brand new to me because today we're looking at the Kia EV9. All right, so guys, I wanted to just take some time to say thanks again to the Fred Anderson group here with Fred Anderson Kia, right? These guys have been really good along with Hyundai and Genesis. The model is brand new. It is a little windy outside, so I apologize for that. But let's go ahead and look at it really quick from this point of view. So coming into the Kia EV9, and you can see this is a black version here, so it is a little dirty. It's been sitting on the lot for just a little bit. Of course, birds like to target it, so that's always something that's a little different. But to me, this is definitely the electric Telluride, right? It is 100% a lot of features that you would get with the Telluride, but you get them in a certain unique design frame. And I like the fact that it looks very, SUV-ish, but it also gives you a lot of functions and features built in. So let's look at the key real quick, right? And you can see that you have your hole for the power door and horn. This is your lock up top, unlock here. This is your hole for the trunk. So if I press and hold that, it will actually open up the rear trunk hatch. You can see it going on in the background right there. All right, so then on the other side, we have the remote hole to actually turn on, and we have a remote hole to actually open the front lid. So this is, of course, for your front area. So here's your front trunk. Really nice size. It's decent enough that you could put your charging cables in, maybe the emergency roadside assistance kit. This is rubberized. My biggest fear is if I put something up here, how much noise is it gonna make rattling around? So I would always say, if you put something here, make sure it kind of fits pretty snug so it's not dragging around, because this is a hard piece of plastic here. Oddly enough, there is a remote release in here should you get crammed inside this thing. Look at my hand. So if you get stuffed in there, there's nowhere where you can pull that latch. Anyway, you can see you still have your washer fluid refueler here. There are some specific areas you can get to the battery, for the 12-volt battery inside. So there are areas here that are still very accessible, but you have to pull off a few pieces of the carbon plastic here to kind of get to those particular areas. So it's really nice that you can actually get to everything pretty quick, and you can actually release it from the key fob. A lot of times, manufacturers have gotten away from, other than Tesla, releasing the hood from the key fob. So you got your brand new Kia logo here. Now this particular model does not have the custom LED front panel that you would see on like the GT line and the higher, but it does have your nice LED headlamps and your high beams and low beams. You do have this really nice daytime running light that goes across here. On the higher end models, you do get the full light bar across the front. You still do offer and have the front grill, active grill shutters down here at the bottom. All right, so you do have your front sensors here, which are definitely mapped around the entire vehicle to give you better visibility of what's going on. You do have your, these are, I believe, 19-inch wheels. And they're the Aero wheels. Some people don't like them. I personally don't mind. They're using Kumho tires here, and it's 255/60 R19s. And so they do have a lot more meat on them, so you're gonna get a little bit more comfortable ride here. Of course, you come around, and then now this is where it gets very unique. With this, you have this really nice character line that comes here, and it splits off into two. One goes up toward the door frame, one goes down toward the bottom. You have your integrated turn signals here. This is your body colored mirrors, and this particular model does not have the surround view cameras, so it's basically down. You'll see a little camera down here, but it's not on this one. But it does actually close and open whenever you are opening up the door. So if I unlock the doors, you'll hear the little beep, and then of course the mirrors fold out and the door handles fold out, which is really nice. So you get the actual nice door handles here that are actually integrated so you can touch the front two doors to lock and unlock. As you come around to the side, you can see that character line that kind of split up now comes back here again and meets back and comes around to the back here. Before we get all the way to the back, there's your charging door. And like one thing that I like about Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis all, they all have a unique active lighting system that tells you your charging status. So right now I'm actually almost at 100%, so you can see it's sitting at 4 full bars. And of course you have your hole to turn on your DC out, and then of course you also have your charger closed. And then this is your flap, which I like the fact this is integrated as a flap versus a little dangly a little bit. Those get on my nerves. But this is for your CCS charging here at the bottom. And then you can just close that door back. And let's come back to the back for a second. And let's look at the back of this guy. This is one of the things that I can tell you, I really do like the distinctive lines here. You've got a really nice third brake light up top of here. You also have your tail lights that come down and they kind of come into a zigzag pattern. Your turn signals are up top, your reverse lights are right here. And of course you got your reflectors at the bottom. And so looking at it from the back, you got this really unique back half that looks like sort of a Telluride and sort of a Carnival a little bit. So you actually have a little bit of everything. So I know that there's no release button, but if you come back and you stand here long enough, within 3 seconds it will automatically unlock. The problem is I'm still too close. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open this back up again. And let's go ahead and look inside. All right, so really quickly you can see up top here, there's of course your trunk close button and open. There's your lock to lock it once it is closed. And then coming back here, this is the third row seat that's already up. If I wanted to set it down, let's go ahead and do this side. I think I can get it a little bit better. I can actually pull this down and drop that down. And you can see how much space you got back here now. Now, this is the configuration that I personally would buy an EV9 in. And that's just because I like the bench seat for the second row. And then of course, this seat back here, let's see if I can drop it all the way down again. And yeah, it does fit all the way down. And the reason why I like that is because with a captain's chairs in the middle, you have this little gap right here. So if you put something back here that was a little bit loose, it can go straight up the middle, right? And it can be, you know, sitting on someone's lap, cause some issues or whatever. So in my opinion, I like the bench seat for the middle row. And then of course you have your third row here. Now, as we can see inside, we've got I believe this is a charging cable, right? So you have your charging cable here, and it's actually a level 2 and level 1 charger. It's just a base level 2 charger, because I believe they give you the adapter for both. Actually, no, this is just a level 1. So just a level 1 charger in here, but it's a nice charging kit and a nice little bag that it comes in. So it makes it really convenient that you can have that. Here's your vehicle little outlet in the rear, which is really nice. So you actually have that for you can plug in a 15 amp circuit, 120 volts out. And of course you have your second row seating, so I can now drop the second row just by pushing the button there, and you can see it just dropped on down. Coming back over on the left side, you have, I believe this is your basically close button. Should you have to bring it down from inside, you have a button that's kind of locked in, which is really nice. You have a 12-volt adapter back here, really nice to have. You have seatbelt tether hooks. Oh, I love these. And the reason why I love these so much is because most cars, whenever you're not using that third row seat, these seatbelts can dangle and they just hit on the side, causing a little extra noise. It just drives you a little nuts sometimes. But in the third row, they really did a good job of paying attention to what people will want. You have a USB-C port back here on each side. You have cup holders on each side. You have rear speakers. You have rear vents up top. So whenever you need someone, get a little bit warmer or cooler back here, right? You got your own vent back here. You have your own lightings back here. So it's a really nice space. I'm not gonna try to get back into that thing because it's gonna be a little bit too tight for me. Let's see, let's slide this up and see what kind of under floor storage we have. This is pretty nice because it's actually Velcro down the case right here. So as we open this up, we actually have a tire repair kit. We've got the front license plate holder. We've got a tire pump, and I believe that's probably one of the emergency roadside kits down there as well. So not a lot of space back here, but it's decent to kind of keep some stuff hidden out of the way. One thing that you can see, there is no rear tonneau cover that you would put back here. I don't even see a spot. Actually, I do see a spot for it. So it actually would go in right here. Right, that will be your place where that rear cover will go in, and it will come across up to here. And you can see here's your hooks for that to go in. Of course, you got a couple rear toe hooks back here, or ankle hooks here, and of course behind the seats for the middle row, you actually have your tether points for your car seats, also on the rear as well. So if I pull this back up, you can see there's your tether points for you to put your baby car seats down, and that way they're locked in. So we come on back. All right, so let's go ahead and look inside, and we're going to start in the back seat. So coming in the back, let's go to the door panel first. Right off the back here, we got some nice soft touch materials right here up top. Nice little blend of hard plastics and a nice little, almost like a pewter gray trim. It's not even like a stainless, it's not silver. There's no piano black on this door, which is really nice. It keeps away all those fingerprints. Nice place for a bottle holder down here, maybe a couple snacks. Good grip to kind of close the door. Of course, you got your window controls. And let's go ahead and set this up. Okay, and then you have to pull the handle here, and that's gonna actually allow it to release for me to pull this up. So I gotta do this with two hands. And then there you go. And let's go ahead and hop in for a second. Let's see what it looks like. So plenty of leg room back here. And I'm 5'9", and the seat is still sitting upright. So now it does slide forward and back. So I'm at its furthest point back, and I can actually lean the seat back a little bit more. And then back here behind here, you've got a really nice place that you could hang a coat right here, or if you got a hanger, you can put there's also a coat hook right here next to the map light, and you have that on or off that you can turn on and off based off of how you have it configured. Your rear vents or mid vents are right here, right? So you actually have those that you can just pop open and close whenever not being used, so you get more air from when you do that. And of course, you have your climate control right here that controls the middle, which is really good. A really nice airy panel roof back here in the back, so you can kind of see up here. It's pretty good. The third row seat doesn't get any of that view, but the middle row gets a really nice view of it. And if I kind of look at a few other things here, so coming into this side, you see there's plenty of leg room and hip room for 3 people back here. I've got 2 cup holders in the center that I can easily kind of use if I want to. That makes it really nice to have a really good bench seat back here. Map pockets, right? They're on both driver and passenger. And you have your USB ports right here on both of the back of the driver's seat and the passenger seat here. So you both have USB ports here. And if I want to move that passenger seat up, I do have those same buttons that you found on the Hyundai and Genesis Cousins, where I can actually tilt the person forward back, slide them back, or slide them forward. And we'll just say we'll slide them forward there for a second. Rear cup holders right here. So there's 2 more cup holders right here, which is pretty nice. So if I've got a third person here and that person's sitting in the middle, I still have cup holders that are there. The outer passengers actually have the bottle open, right? The bottle door slots. And of course, you do have a little cubby down there at the bottom for extra storage. So it's a really nice look. And I want to mention something about this pattern up top, right? This actual material here reminds me of like jeans. So it's a really nice material that it should be very easy to keep clean. If they, put some kind of treatment on it, it probably will help keep it from getting dirty fast. All right, so as we come to the driver's door, I did want to mention you do have your side markers for your blind spot monitoring in the mirror. It is the ambient triangle alert, so that's really nice to see there. And then we come into the front door here. We actually see that there is that same material here, still soft touch up top. You still have that same pewter trim in here in the middle. And then now we actually see that we have my ventilated and heated seat controls on the door. I think that's actually a good place to put them. And then on top of that, you have your heated steering wheel as well. Coming down to the bottom, you can see that we have all of our window controls, including the power folding mirror, and of course your lock, unlock, all your 4-door mirror windows. So let's just see on the rear window, how far does it go down? And it goes all the way down, so that's actually really good. A lot of cars these days will come down to like right there, but it's all the way down. It's really good to see. You do have a nice audio system in this particular model. I'm not going to say exactly how many speakers it is because I don't know for sure off the top of my head, but we'll look at it on the Moroni sticker in just a second. Now, coming down to the seats, we do have, looks like a 12-way power driver seat with lumbar. So there's your lumbar, two-way lumbar controls, and of course your power driver seat up, down, left, right, and so on. Select BA start. Okay, and then we do have your trunk release and your front release, both here. You have your traction control built there, your power brakes, your illumination for your dashboard, and of course this is for your EV port that turns, you can actually open and close it right from inside the car, which is nice. And then let's look at this guy from another point of view. Let's look at the driver's seat here real quick. And the nice thing about the driver's seat is it does have a mesh headrest. Some people don't like this. I like it because it actually allows you to still get some breathing area up here. When it's leather, sometimes it could be a little bit sweaty on the back, but because it's mesh, it actually feels really good to the touch. And then right here in the middle, there's actually some padding, so you actually do feel like you're getting some extra support. Coming down, you actually have some really nice side bolstering onto the seat side. You have your perforated for your heated and ventilated seats. Really nice design. I like the way this feels. It doesn't feel hard at all on my back. It's like some cars I've been in, doesn't really feel that well. So let's get in here and let's explore this guy a little bit more. Okay, so coming into the car, the first thing we want to do is we want to look at the steering wheel itself. One of the things that you're going to use the most, right, is the steer and power of the car. You have some pretty cool technology built into the steering wheel. I like the design of it. It has this weird three-ish spoke design, a four spoke design, excuse me. Over on the left hand side, you got all your information systems. So I've got my button here that actually controls what you see in that center gauge cluster. And this is a full 12-inch digital gauge display here. There is a sub display in the middle, which is about 4.5 inches, I believe. And then there's a secondary 12-inch display for your rest of your system. We'll go over that in a second. But coming back here, we've got your cruise control, all your settings here off and on, your lane assist and lane keeping assist, all built in there, which is part of the highway drive assist package 2. And then of course over here on the side, you have all your controls for your audio, volume up, volume down. This is for your phone. This is for your voice commands or activating your smartphone's voice system, whether it be Google Assistant or Siri if you're using an Apple device. Down here in the middle, kind of a unique place to put it, but here's your drive mode selector and your four-wheel lock, which is really nice. Now over here on the side, you can kind of see it through the spoke here, is your power button to turn the car on and off. This is your selector here, and then the stock is right here on the side. So I turn forward for drive, back for reverse, center for neutral, and then P right here is for park. Up here you have your turn signals and your washer on this stock, and over here you have all of your lighting controls. So really simple. It's very much the same platform that Genesis and Hyundai and Kia have been using for a while, but it's a very good system. It has been around for a while and people like it and it works. That's one reason why people keep coming back to them. Looking at the actual display, you can see it does show you your speed limit, sign recognition. So that also would include like stop signs, yield signs, railroad, and so on. Of course, you have your battery selection on this side, tells you how much battery power that I have available. Here's your miles per hour. There's your, it's your compass. But if I hit that button, I can change it to see, you know, my highway drive assist features, or I can see my current trip computer, or as I kind of scroll down, it's going to let me see, whoops, there we go. So I can see what my range between charging. Here's my range guide, and then here's your tire pressure monitor, and then here's your all-wheel drive selector, since this is an all-wheel drive unit. So you can actually see how that power is being displayed going through it. The center gauge, this is all of your air conditioning controls and all the features. This never really changes that I know of. It's pretty much stays the same, but it also controls, I can say where I want that the airflow to come, whether I want it to go to my feet and my face, or if I just want to go my feet only, or defroster, or if I just put it back on auto, right? So I can just leave it on auto, which is right at the bottom. So that will just keep it there, but I'm going to turn that fan down a little bit because I don't want it too hot or too windy. And that's a pretty straightforward system here. But the nice thing about it is all your controls are here are still right here. You have physical buttons for your temperature, driver and passenger. And then you have your fan controls. And then you also have your mode. All those things are right here next to your hazard lights and your volume control and power button. So you push that, it turns the AM/FM you push that, it turns the AM/FM off. But as you see, the mapping system is still on. This is pretty good because a lot of times companies will make that be a full power button and it turns everything off. But we know in the EV, you have to still maintain and use all of your systems. So I want to be able to see what's going on in the map. So I would actually select the map and I can see what's going on here. Right below this, on this panel, it's kind of hard to see because of the sun glare, but there is actually a home, map, search, media, star, and setup button. And these are capacitive touch. So I've already programmed the star to take me straight to the EV page. So if I push down, it takes me straight to the EV page. So now you can see what the vehicle range is. And then you can see how much percentage of the battery is charged, where it's going to be looking like when I use the air conditioning, what the range is going to look like without the air conditioning. And then, of course, I can adjust some things in here. So I can actually look at my overall use. I can go in here and check out things like next time I depart, you know, where do I want to have my charging status be, if I'm on ACC charge, if I want to control those settings. And if I go to setup here, I can also do things like battery conditioning manually. I can also go in here and select battery conditioning manually, or it will automatically come on whenever I'm actually programmed to a specific destination using the Kia maps. So if you're using something like Google Maps, it won't automatically start doing it. But if you're using the built-in map, which if I go back here and I put in a destination, it will automatically start preconditioning the battery depending on how far I am to the charger as I go around. Let's back up for a second. I wanted you guys to see this. Is pretty cool. This is a really nice little overhead console. And you have, of course, a manual shade for the sunroof here for the driver's side. But the rear sunshade is controlled right there. And the reason why they do that is because you can't reach back there with your hand and close that thing. So whenever you're just driving around, it's actually really easy to do it. And of course, I can open up the main sunroof. And you can see that. Definitely not going to keep that open right now. It's just a little bit too hot and sunny, I should say. Your emergency call button and hazards here. Kia Connect, which is basically like the Blue Link for Hyundai. And then, of course, you've got your lights. These are capacitive touch here. So I can turn the lights on and off, set them up by the vehicle if the doors are open or closed, which is the way I normally have them set up. And, of course, these map lights are capacitive touch at the light area. So really nice to see. You have your nice mirror here with the HomeLink controls built in. Let's look at the mirrors, of course. Yes, you do have illumination, and it does go on and off. This is what I do like. The Hyundai one, of course, had the little switch that you have to close and it'll cut it off. Does this extend? Absolutely it does. So you see that automatically. And just a really nice material. I really like this. It kind of goes around down the 8 pillars well. You do have, like I said, I want to say it's like 10 speakers. So before we get to that, let's look at a couple more spots in the driver's seat. And let's start down here toward the bottom below the console. And you can see I have USB-C ports, and they're designed to be either charging or charging with data. And then there's also a separate just charging only button for like the passenger. And of course, there's your 12-volt outlet. You have a really nice deep bin down here where you can put, I call it a purse pocket, right? Or if you want to stick something like my camera bag, I can just sit it right there and it's out of the way, right? Very easy to do. Right here in the center, on the center console, we've got 2 cup holders, nice little tray here to put your phone sideways. I don't like that, honestly. But then you also have your auto hold. You have your hill descent. Here's your camera button. Let's look at those rear cameras real quick. And this is, like I said, just a single camera, not the surround view camera that you would see before. And of course, there is a fingerprint button here. Remember, we saw this on the Genesis. This allows you to program your finger as a key. So whenever you want to crank up, you basically program your phone as a key to get in the car. You use your finger to start it up and you're good to go. You also have a Qi wireless charging mat right here for NFC. And then, of course, you have a little baby cubby right here on that side. So it's not as big as I would like to have seen it, but because they give you this nice little pocket beneath everything here, it makes it a little easier for them to kind of throw that in. Glove box, one of the biggest, deepest glove boxes I've seen in a while. Looks really nice. The actual door is dampened so it doesn't just fall over, which is really nice. And then of course you got this really nice material here, the same that's kind of on the headliner, just a little bit different style, but right here inside. And I want to say the ambient lighting on this one does go across the same area, so it kind of comes under here and it goes into the door panels around the sides. I haven't seen it on this one because it is daytime and I can't see it. This is a 2024 Kia EV9 Wind all-wheel drive, and this is the long range, right? So this has a base suggested manufacturer retail price of $63,900. They added the Aurora Black Pearl paint, so there's your name of your paint there, and the carpeted floor mats, and along with the destination that brings it up to $66,315. And then of course with Fred Anderson here, you do have their Fred Anderson luxury package basic, which includes window tint, door protection, the Kia OEM wheel locks, mud guards, and all-weather floor mats. And those floor mats aren't in here right now. They're just, I think they probably haven't put them in here at all in the car, because the ones that are in the back are just the standard mats. Now, we can see right off the back, efficiency-wise, it's not as efficient, but this is a big car. This is a Telluride car, so your fuel economy at 83 mpge is not the most efficient, but it still gives you a decent range at 280 miles, which is not bad at all. So if you were taking a trip, this guy still charges very fast. So that's another big plus, is you do have a very fast charging speed in here. This is a 99.8 kilowatt lithium battery, and it does, like I said, has the same 800 volt architecture inside. So you have that kind of built in, which is really nice. And just so you know what this little bubble is, this is your 12 volt battery indicator. That indicates whenever your 12 volt battery is actually charging. So whenever you see it turn on, that's a good thing. If you don't see it turn on and it's been weeks, you may want to have someone check out the 12 volt battery, because it could be getting toward the end of its life cycle. So I want to thank you again for joining me on another keyless entry adventure, or should I say another keyless entry test drive for the first time with the EV9 here. It's been an awesome experience. I want to thank once again the folks here at Kia, or Fred Anderson Kia of Greer. And thank you for their hospitality and let me actually utilize their EV9 Wind all-wheel drive long range, just because it just was one of those things where I wanted to make sure I did this for you, the viewers that have been asking me to do this. So thanks again for another great episode, and for all you guys who've already subscribed, thanks again. Please continue to like, and for those who have just watched this for the first time, consider subscribing for me. It is going to help grow this channel. I am trying my best to put out as much content that is viable and things that people want to see. So I thank you again for just watching the video, and for those who have commented, I take all comments as constructive criticism, and I understand that sometimes, you know, we all have different opinions, right? So, and that's fine with me. So continue to just, you know, join in the discussion. I love the fact when you get some discussions going on behind the scenes, it really makes it very rewarding that I put out something that some people find compelling and they like. So enjoy yourselves, drive safe, and we'll see you soon.